Hi, I'm going to cover now the topic of how to install an internal hard drive into your 32-way DVR. Basically, to recap, this is the IQCCTV high definition 960H DVR and it's 32 outputs on it. So the first thing we do is we simply use this Phillips screwdriver and remove two Phillips screws, one here and one here, that's in total, and it's holding on this cover here. So what I can do then is I can simply slide this down and then I can lift it up like this. And we have access then into see what's inside. So I'm going to tilt the entire DVR forward so you can have a look. So what we have here is a double row. You sort of see here, top row, bottom row. I'll show you in more detail when this is empty shortly. Each row here can hold up to 4 hard drives. Each hard drive that this can support, it specs it up to 4 terabytes. So a total of 32 terabytes can be supported here. And already in place to have all the SATA data cables and all the SATA power cables. So it just means once we have the hard drive, we bolt it on here securely, and what we can do then is we can just power it up and format it. So I'm shooting this in 2 videos. One is going to cover the actual physical installation of it, and the next is going to cover just the formatting of it. Okay, so what we're going to do here is just use my Phillips screwdriver. I'm just going to remove this top screw, which you see here, unscrew like this. Come along, take it off, and then it's just a pin holding it at the side, and I just slide it out. So what we have here is, this is what we'll use for the hard drives. And I'm just going to tilt this over again so you can see a little bit further. We can see here, this exposes the second row that's underneath, and just a spacer bar here. What I could do is I could unscrew this spacer bar and remove the next row. Now, if I was going to be installing between 1 and 4 hard drives, I'd probably install it on the top row here, simply because they're easier access. If I thought I might install more than that over a period of time, I'd install them, the first drives on the bottom. It just means that we could put in 4 hard drives, and when I go to do the next 4, I could do it without interfering with the first 4. Okay, so it's sort of thinking ahead, I suppose you'd call it. So what I'm going to do here now is, we'll notice if we turn over the hard drive, there's a series of 4 holes here. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they match up exactly with the 4 holes. There's a pattern of them here. So if we just hold the hard drive behind, we can see it here, and we can just line up those holes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to leave the hard drive down, just aim it back towards myself, and I am simply going to screw in the 4 screws at this point. So I just need to line this up as best I can, and I just have it there, sorry now, a little bit slow on the uptake. So what we have is, we have the 4 screws here, they come in bags, and they come in along with the user manual, okay? There's sets of them there for up to the 4 hard drives. So what I would do here is, I simply get this screw, and I'll just unscrew it on like that. And normally, obviously, what I do is a 4, but to allow me to finish out this video successfully, because I'm going to be disassembling this afterwards in the quickest period of time, I'm just going to put in diagonal screws here, but I would advise putting in all 4, right? So we have that there now. Now normally what I do is I install this before I go any further, but for to maximise the visibility on this video, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come along, I'm going to connect both the power and the data at this point, so you can see exactly what's involved in that. So it's very straightforward. We have a little groove on this top end here, and it'll go over here as a little groove to match it. That's the power connected. And next we'll do data. Once again, the little groove is on the outside, so a mirror image, and we just slide it on here like this. And next what we're going to do is we're just going to slide this into position. We just pull this back slightly, and I run it along. I drop it in, and what we're going to do then is, there's just little hooks here, and we're just going to drop it in, and it's locked into position now. So I'll just demonstrate that again maybe. And we have it in there. So the final thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to get the screw on top. It's the one without the washer. And I'm just going to lock this into the spacer bar that's coming up. And I'm just going to turn this over again so we can actually see what I'm after doing here now. Okay, so you can see here, that we now have our hard drive bolted on here, and we could put in 2, 3, 4 on this row, the same on the bottom, and we have our power and data connected to it. Now in the next video in the series, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to come along and I'll cover the topic of powering this up when it's connected to a monitor, and we'll just have a look at what the procedure for actually formatting the hard drive. So that's it anyway, part 1 in our 2-part video series of how to install and format a hard drive in your 32 DVR.